everybody. Good morning, good morning. All right, we have three today. We have the Shaman's Dream Oracle. Let me shift you down a little bit. There's a really powerful one coming from the Psychic Tarot Oracle deck. And then we have the Tarot Box. All right, let's start with this one. How's everybody doing? How's everybody doing? Okay, Shaman's Dream Oracle. What message does universe have for us right now? What have you guys been up to? What questions do you have for the universe? They're saying 2 cards from this one. Okay. Let's shuffle again. Something. I felt like I was grabbing from 2 different places, which makes sense since I'm getting 2 cards, but but it was odd with one hand. Okay. Here we go. Falling Angel, Spiritual Narcolepsy. So I believe this card talks about if you've been on your path and then somehow you feel like you've lost your way, and then this card is about bringing you back onto the path. We'll check the book, but that's kind of the energy that I'm getting from it, that sometimes, well, the message, the real message that I'm getting from it is that even the times where you feel like you've fallen off the path or you've kind of strayed off the path, even that straying, the detours that you take are part of the path. Like it feels like you're falling off, like you're going someplace that you're not certain what direction that you're in. That detour is part of your path in the sense that by straying off and kind of feeling the contrast of that, feeling the offness of that, it helps. It's that awareness that brings you back onto a place of more resonance. Okay, that's the message that I'm getting from that. Let's see the second card. Yeah. So, stars in the sky, limitless possibility. So, if there's been any place where you've been feeling like you are limited, that you kind of forgot your godness, right? You kind of forgot your limitless possibility, and you felt that you were kind of like running into walls or running up against obstacles of sorts, and you feel lost. I feel like this is what this is talking about. In those places, in those times when this happens, because you feel the offness of it, that's actually your spirit, your source calling you back into your limitless possibility, where you can again see the stars in the sky. Stars in the sky meaning like, so, I don't, actually, I think people still do use the stars in the sky to navigate, right? In terms of direction and stuff like that, using the constellations in the sky. But back in the olden days, people used to use that to figure out their location. By looking at the stars in the sky and what time of the year it is, they can tell where they are on, in the seas, right? If you're in if you're traveling by boat or something, that's how they can tell where they are. But this is talking about something similar to that, where if you have been in a place where you feel like this falling angel, where you kind of lost focus or kind of lost direction momentarily. It's always momentarily, because the larger part of you is this. The larger part of you is connected, right? And so this is about finding your place from this space of not sure where you are and doubt and uncertainty, to remembering and returning to this limitless possibility, okay? There's something about this bridge and the connection between your human consciousness and your spirit consciousness. So it's kind of like this is you being connected with your spirit consciousness, where you and your spirit are one and you remember who you really are. The falling angel is that ultimately you are still spirit, you are still angel, but that you've momentarily forgotten that you are. So your human consciousness kind of, the physical realm, the physical reality has become too real, where you've forgotten that you're in the matrix, right? And this is about remembering that, oh wait, I'm in the matrix and there's actually a real reality where I'm a non-physical being and I am limitless in my power. Okay. So some of you may be still going through this part, and some of you may be just returning to the connection with your source. All right. Okay. And if you are here still, if you are still kind of floundering and saying, well, logically, conceptually, I kind of understand that I am spirit, but I'm not feeling it right now. This is calling you back. This is your spirit. This is your sign. Your spirit is saying, I'm here. And even if you're not feeling it in this moment, it's okay. Calm down. It's okay. We're always here. We're always here, ready for you to reconnect. I feel like something's going to show up in your physical life in the near future, very soon. That's going to help you bring you back into connection, where you're going to feel like, oh, I feel it again now. I'm knowing my God self again now. I feel like something's going to show up in your life. Okay, let's see what's going to show up in the Psychic Tarot deck. There's a message coming through. You're never not an angel, meaning you're never not source. You're, as for some of you, as disconnected you may feel sometimes, there's always still a connection, because it's impossible to not be connected, but you may not be feeling that connection that strongly. Okay? But you're always, some part of you is always still connected. So pay attention to the inner messages that you're receiving, because your higher self is talking to you at all times. Whether you're able to hear it or not, or receive it or not, is up to you, right? And that may be why you're feeling out of sorts, is because maybe you've been too distracted by physical reality and you haven't been listening within. But, this is always here. Okay. All right. Remember in the beginning, I was saying that there's a powerful message coming through from this deck. It's going to happen. Victory and success. So if you're here, this is a message to you. You're gonna succeed. You're gonna come back into this place of knowingness about your true self. Victory and success is waiting for you, okay? And then I'm also seeing in here the trumpet. I feel like it's a form of communication, like music being communication, and also just sound in general, how we communicate through sound, through language, through words. That the victory and success is about reconnecting and then having that communication with your higher realms, your spiritual team. Because remember, we were just talking about right here where they're in this state, in the narcolepsy state, there may be moments when you feel like you're not hearing, like spirit is always talking to you, but you might not be receiving. So there's kind of like it's not really miscommunication so much as there's the communication is not being received, right, as clearly. And then I feel like this trumpet has to do with the communication being received and being loud and clear, right? Loud and clear. And then also like you answering back, like you're hearing from spirit and you're answering back. Awesome. All right. The tarot box. I feel like I've never shown you the tarot box before. I mean, I've done readings here with this deck, but I've never shown you the box. This box actually is the only deck that I didn't buy myself. Here, I'll show it to you again. I'll tell you the story actually, since it's here. The story is that I was listening to some people, some tarot readers talk about this myth, right? Where, when you're a new reader, like there's a myth going around that says that you have to receive your tarot deck as a gift. Like you can't buy it yourself. That somebody has to give it to you. And by the time that I heard that, I was like, well, I've been buying all my own decks this whole time, right? And I was like, and they work fine for me, so I don't know about this myth. And even the people who were talking about this myth, answering the question about it, were saying like it's fine to buy your own deck. And I'm not sure if they went into the origin of where the myth came from, that you had to receive it. But then, as I was listening to this, I was like, well, and I was talking to Universe. I was like, well, I mean, I've been buying my own decks, but Universe, if you want to give me a deck, if you want to like gift it to me, I'll be fine with that. I don't mind receiving it for free too, as a gift, right? The following day, and I used to work at this job, right? Where customers would leave behind personal belongings, and if they don't come back to retrieve them, then we have a little collection of lost and found things, right, from the customers. And one of my coworkers the following day came up to me and said, "Here, come here," and then he showed me, he goes, "Here, I'm going to give this to you. A customer left it behind, and, they're not going to be back, right? I'm going to give this to you so that you can practice your magic." And I looked at it and I'm like, and it was, the plastic wrap was off of the box, but the inside, like like the deck itself was still wrapped, right? So meaning whoever this belonged to, they kind of opened it to check it out, and then like they probably weren't interested in it enough to unwrap the cards and actually look at the cards. But yeah, my coworker gave this to me to practice my magic because he knew that I was like into psychic stuff and like magical things like tarot and stuff like that. And so I was like, thank you. Oh my gosh. And I knew that universe had given me this as a gift. So this is the only deck that I have that I did not pay for myself, but was gifted to me. But anyway, I just thought that was so funny and so amazing that I asked universe, I said, go ahead and gift me one if you want to. And the very next day, I got a free box of tarot. So anyway, that's the story. All right, let's see what card comes out of this. And they're saying 2 cards from this deck. And it's funny because like the style of the artwork of the tarot box is not something that I would ever choose for myself, because I kind of tend to like cutesy type artwork, right? Or like the real, you know, magical type artwork. But this style is a little bit more similar to the traditional tarot, and I never would have bought it for myself, but it's shown up really useful in readings just to have that variety of imagery. All right, let's see. Page of Wands, that talks about receiving messages too. That talks about inspiration coming through, right? And acting on it. Inspiration coming through and acting on it. All right. 8 of Wands. A lot of fire energy with the wands. So in reconnecting with your spirit, and we were talking about communication right here, hearing loud and clear and responding back, right? So this is the response. This is like hearing from your spirit, reconnecting and then hearing from your spirit, receiving inspiration, and then acting on it. And this also talks about communication too, 8 of Wands. This talks about speed. It talks about just like a lot of revving up a lot of energy and shooting it outwards. So it's going out in all sorts of different directions. And I feel like this could, so I keep thinking of somebody, like kind of like somebody sending out a mass email to a bunch of people, or like somebody sending out some kind of message, if it's like social media of some sort, posting something and it being received by a lot of people. That's kind of a message that I'm getting from here. So reading all of this together, so being in a place of disconnection or like not as connected, right? Because you're never fully disconnected from your spirit. Reconnecting, remembering your magic, remembering your power, receiving that communication from your spirit and responding to it, receiving that communication, responding by taking action on your inspiration. And here you are taking your action, and kind of like this connection that you're feeling now, this reconnection that you're feeling is now going outwards from you, like you're emanating it out into the world, into the physical realm, to, you know, whoever you are communicating with out there, and then those other people out there receiving what you're receiving through your source. Okay, so in like practical examples, it could be like you had some kind of block, artist block, writer's block, something like that. You get reconnected, you're receiving your creativity, you're responding back, you're receiving inspiration, and creating, and now you're putting it out into the world and it's being received by the world. Something like that, you know, that's an example. So that's really cool, you guys. Really, really cool. So have fun with this. If you are still in this state and you're feeling a little bit discouraged, know that this is coming for you, okay? This reconnection and this kind of unblocking the block, right? Unblocking the block. All sorts of good stuff coming for you, all right? Okay, you guys, have a good one.